Behind the Sport TV, brought to you by Turn 7 Media. This is the HQ Holdens, brought to you by HQ Automotive tonight. And this is a 12-minute plus one-lap sprint to finish off their night here at Carco Raceway. Of course, brought to you by Electrical Group Training as well, their category sponsor for 2025. And it's been the Howlett and Woodbridge so far this evening. But Grant Ord, Stuart Kenny's moved himself up into P4. That was unfortunately due to the demise of Ryan Davis in car number 49 driving for Kevrek. And there was also a spinner in that one with Todd Faulknell in race 2 as well. There was a spin at the top of the hill in turn 5. So there's some people that have got some work to do, and it's really put the cat amongst the pigeons with Phil Breen up there. Rory Sharp in car number 19. We don't see enough of Rory up at Carco Raceway, but when he does show up, he certainly does put on a show, and he finds himself in P5. Breen out of position 6. And then we have 14 of Bo Pangler. Brad Butler has made some moves through the pack tonight. Scotty Hames in car number 62. Ryan Davis in 49. Mark Alfonsi in 47. Todd Faulknell, Dave Kent, and unfortunately it looks like Troy Kent in car number 3, who had such a good run. And these guys are actually going to start a rolling start. Rolling start for their last race of the night, and Mick Woodbridge has completely lost that start. He has lost 3 positions before they even get down to turn number 1. So this is Michael Howlett out in front, cracking away already. Or was it Howlett that actually missed the start? Yeah, it was. It was Howlett that's missed the start. Woodbridge has got 2 car links over, I think that may be Grant Ord, but that certainly mixed us up, and we weren't made aware that they were going to run a running start. So a double Indian file start, very unconventional way of starting a motor race here at Carco Raceway, unless you're in a Formula Classic or an FSR.
Absolutely. Caught us snapping. The first I got wind of it was as our cameras picked them up coming into turn 7. I was like, hang on, they don't normally roll up this way. But what it does for it is give us maybe an extra half a minute or so of green flag running if we can go without safety car interruption for the balance of the race duration here, side by side on the run down the back straight. So Woodbridge and Howlett's got a little bit of work to do if he's to complete the clean sweep today, and Woodbridge for the first time has no necessary pressure on his rear bumper at this point in time. Got a little bit of breathing space, 0.8 of a second over Kenny, Ord, Howlett, Breen and Sharp the top 6. And good to see that we were able to get 12 cars out there of the 14. No Davis, no Alfonsi after that earlier incident for Davis. So 12 of the 14 scheduled starters lining up, and hopefully 12 coming home.
And good to see Stuart Kenny now finds himself in second place after being in the wilderness most of race 1 and race 2. That through some unreliability and some damage there to Ryan Davis, and that he really catapulted up amongst the pigeons now. He's up into second place. He started out of P4 or P5, so a good move for the purple car of Stuart Kenny down there into turn number 7 as they make their way out of turn number 6, and coming up and over the top of the hill. It's all Mick Woodbridge at the moment. He's got a sizable lead over Stuart Kenny in car number 72, and Mick Woodbridge. It's Michael Howlett that's gone fastest in both sectors, 32.9, so that's flying for Michael Howlett. So he's obviously got the head down, and he actually has his in 4th position at the moment as they come out onto the main straight, and he's looking for a run up the inside of Stuart Kenny, who's trying to chase down Grant Ord, who's taken over second place from Stuart Kenny in car number 72, but it's all Mick Woodbridge. Car number 74 looks like he's doing a fine drive job here. We've got 100 metres on the chasing pack, which consists of Stuart Kenny, Grant Ord and Michael Howlett.
The third flying lap of what is the third last race of the day, or the night in this instance, at carco.com.au Raceway. It's the next day on the eastern side of the continent where I am at the moment, and we'll be going well beyond 10 p.m. local time before the checkered flag flies on this day of racing. The 74 of Woodbridge out to a sizable advantage. The most comfortable he's been at the top end of the tree all day long. Look at the three-way fight about to erupt for second. Ord, Kenny and Howlett trying to undo the damage done by what was a slow and sluggish start off the outset here. Down the inside. Let's go 3 wide. No, let's think better of it and go 2 wide. And Howlett going down the inside, trying to get by Kenny and maybe Ord. No, he'll get Kenny, but he's got to still find a way by the number 4 of Ord. Back to the strike, and Howlett's back to third.
Fine to do that, but you do have to stop the car at the bottom of the hill as well. So that'll be playing on Michael Howlett's mind at the moment. But he moves up one position now into P3 and looking very threatening on the back of Grant Ord in car number 4. Grant's got the blue lights underneath his car as they head up through the bus stop, getting up on 2 wheels there as they hit the ripple strip on driver's right and hard on the brakes into turn number 4 with Mick Woodbridge, a 1:16.7. So they're nearly a second away from where they should be at the moment, but it's only early. Still the tyre still coming up the temperature at the moment. We've got around about 5.5 minutes remaining in this one, so we'll probably get at least another 4 laps out of the Holden HQs. And there's a dive bomb down the inside, and that looks like it was Michael Howlett having a shot at Grant Ord. Has it going to pay off? Yes, it has, as Mick Woodbridge runs really wide and brings up a whole lot of dirt. But Michael Howlett now into second place, Ord into third, and Stuart Kenny now slips from second back to fourth.
Is that going to cost Woodbridge any degree of time here, Vaughan? That 2 wheels in the dirt moment coming out of turn 6. Time will tell. Howlett's got clear air now, can go out in pursuit of him, and we might have a real ding-dong last couple of laps on our hands here under the Western Australian night sky. Michael Howlett, fastest lap of the race, a 16.34. And out in pursuit of Woodbridge, that margin has come down. It's come back to 1.39 seconds. So Howlett will look to make a real race of this in the closing stages.
And 0.4 of a second away from Mick Woodbridge. He did a 15.9 in the previous race, so they're getting up to speed now. And as I said, they've probably advanced the distributors on these cars, giving them a little bit more timing. But the further you go, the higher the risk of blowing a head gasket in one of these Holden HQs. They've all got air sensor on the dashboard, and they're looking for 14.7, which is the optimum air versus fuel ratio for one of these cars. Well, basically for any internal combustion engine, it's called the stoichiometric ratio. And here we go, up and over the top of the hill, and it's still Mick Woodbridge, but Michael Howlett is definitely catching. There's only 3 car lengths now. Let's bring that down to 2. Let's bring that down to 1 car length. Michael Howlett, a demon under brakes, again goes fastest in sector 1, 2 and overall. As they go across the line, Michael Howlett all over the back of Mick Woodbridge in car number 74, and it's a 1:15.6 if you don't mind. 0.3 of a second quicker than Mick Woodbridge in race number 2, and Howlett now brings up side by side with Mick Woodbridge as they go up through the right-hander at turn number 3. Howlett's going to try for an outside run here into turn number 4, really late on the brakes. Can he turn the car in? And he's run wide, yes. And that's allowed Woodbridge to regain pole position and head up and over the top of the hill.
But for how long, Vaughan? That's the question. Howlett's the form man at the moment, pulling out some qualifying times at the very back end of what's been a very long day in the cockpit for these guys. Woodbridge may have been a little bit complacent in the lead by 1.8 seconds. It's been jagged back to 0.3 of a second, 0.2 as they come out of turn 6. Again, Woodbridge had 2 wheels out in the dirt on the exit of turn 6. Can Howlett set this up for a run down the inside into turn 7? Let's wait and see. 2:25 left on the clock. We've got this and 3 more laps to go, folks, as they come back to the strike. Final turn. The 74 leads them through. It's Woodbridge and Howlett, and closing in, trying to latch onto this train are Ord and Kenny as well. Ord especially within striking distance. Let's wait and see. You cannot see on the main straight camera there Howlett for the sheer fact that he was right up the bumper bar of Woodbridge there. Basically, an invisible tow rope was separating the 2 cars there. You could have sworn they were being towed by one another as they make their way up towards turn 4. for what we think will be the third last time. Ord's not out of this fight either, Vaughan. It could be either one of these three men taking victory in the next 3 laps.
Yeah, you can see the different lines being taken by Michael Howlett, trying to keep the RPM up and the momentum up through turn number 4. He went into turn number 4 at mid-track where Mick Woodbridge hung onto the curb all the way around, and that looks like a bit of a bump and run there, and Woodbridge has run really wide, and that's allowed Howlett to get in front now by some 25 metres. Grant Ord now takes over second place, so not sure if there was contact there, but Mick Woodbridge running extremely wide and while in close proximity to Michael Howlett, so it may have been a bit of a bump and run there. And Mick Woodbridge would not be happy with that. He'll fight back now. He's all over the back of Grant Ord, who brings up a big shower of sparks on the exit of turn number 7. It's Michael Howlett, Grant Ord and Mick Woodbridge. They are the three King of the Kids this weekend, and Grant Ord hanging on for second at the moment. Car number 74 and Mick Woodbridge draws up alongside of him. They're going to go side by side through the left-hander into 2, and then side by side through turn number 3, the right-hander, and Woodbridge going to be hung out to dry here as Ord hangs on to the curb, plies all of that throttle, what he has, and comes up and over the top of the corner. Side by side, just like the XL Racing, Woodbridge down the inside. Ord hung out to dry on the outside. This will be Woodbridge's corner. He will go back to second.
These two blokes have just said, hold my beer to the XLs. They are turning it on at the closing stages, and now it's Howlett that was wide coming out of turn 6. So for all the wide running that we saw from Woodbridge earlier in the night, we're now seeing it from Howlett at the end. Ord was wide at turn 1. That allowed Woodbridge to get back to second. They've gone into overtime, ladies and gentlemen. This will be the start of the final lap as they come back to turn 7. Howlett has good breathing space coming back to the line. Ord and Woodbridge in behind them. 1 to go at Carco.
Outstanding HQ racing as we see Faulknell having a good battle back there with Scotty Hames in car number 62, but all the action is up towards the front of the field, and here's another pass being put on with Todd Faulknell in car number 24. He's gone underneath, that would be 76 of Brad Butler, and Butler fighting back. They go side by side as they go across the stripe here at Carco Raceway and into the darkness down into turn number 1. Butler looks like he's going to take that back by having the inside run and the right-hander at turn number 1, and easily pulls away from Todd Faulknell in car number 24. Where are our leaders at the moment? Oh, somebody's run off the racetrack down there in turn number 6. That looks like a blue car. I'm wondering whether that, it looks like a silver car, and there may be a second car involved down there as well. Could be Dave Kent in car number 45 as we see Phil Breen coming across the top of the hill, and he has Bo Pangler in 14 right behind him. As I look at all of the dust and dirt being displayed down there in turn number 6. Where are our leaders on the racetrack? As we try and pick up on those, it's still Howlett over Woodbridge and Ord as car number 45 of Kent goes across the line. There goes Michael Howlett across the line now to take the checkered flag from Mick Woodbridge, takes out second place. Grant Ord across the line for third, and Stuart Kenny in car 72 takes home fourth position. Troy Kent, a great fight back to end up in fifth place tonight. Rory Sharp in car number 19. Then we'll have Philip Breen only just over Bo Pangler. Behind him is Todd Faulknell and 76 of Brad Butler, and that leaves Scotty Hames in 62 and Dave Kent in car number 45 to complete the course. Wow, what a way to finish race number 3 for the Holden HQs, brought to you by Electrical Group Training. And Zach, I got to get my breath back.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I mean, it's been a very long and busy day for the pair of us. We're nearly there, mate, but we initiated the challenge after the XL race to the rest of the categories on the bill. Let's try and top that. The HQs gave it their best shake and then some. Terrific racing, particularly between the top 3. Kenny unlucky as well, got hung out to dry late in the piece there and fell back to 4th. Kent, Sharp, Breen and Pangler in behind that made up the top 8. We had 11 start. Dave Kent is still to come home. There he is now coming onto the main straight. So 12 start, 12 get home. It was Kent that came undone.